Heidi said, it's like quicksand. You can't pull anyone out if you're in there as well, regarding to depression or suffering. There's a lot of pressure and cultural tendencies that when you hear about a disaster or you hear about something terrible happening, the tendency is to try to, or to join them in the suffering. Oh, this is so terrible. And you look into Facebook, after something bad happens, and there's people who join the sufferers in the pain. And that makes sense from a cultural sense where we're kind of embarrassed for our joy a lot of times, especially in the face of other people's suffering. But you cannot bring people to joy from a place of suffering. And what good does it do? If you were sitting there, starving someplace, would you want people to be feeling sorry for you? Or would you want them to feel energized and strengthened and do something that they can, but otherwise just be happy? Otherwise, I don't think it's a vindictive thing. I wish this was happening to you. I wish you could feel like this. People do say that kind of thing, but it's certainly not a very evolved stance. And so there was I can't remember, this is a story that Jacob Glass told one time, and he was talking about one of the earlier practitioners in science of mind, I believe, and he would say that if these were healers, and that when they would go to see people in a hospital, that the first thing you need to do is make sure that you are joyous and that you see them as pure and healed. Because if you join them in the suffering, that not only does it not help them, it is worse. It's like getting in, if you go to a hospital bed and you get in bed with them and start, borrowing from their IV, it's kind of that silly. What people need in any type of suffering is things to lift them up. Emotionally, spiritually, financially, lifting. Not joining in the muck. That being said, there's a famous thing like, extend your hand to someone who needs it and pull them up. But if they won't let go and are pulling you down, let go. Some people, like we were talking about earlier, do they want to be happy? If someone is arguing for their negative place, no reason to engage them to the point that it pulls you and gets you all muck all over you. Say, okay, if that's where I hear you, and that sounds very frustrating. That sounds really tough. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.